back to the fourth episode of the Witcher podcast. I'm your host, Danny Newton, joined as always by my co-host, Derek Rios. How are you today, Derek?
I'm doing good, Danny. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. We have a very lore-filled episode today.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff in this. This episode was mainly backstory.
The main chunk of the episode is Geralt.
He opens up and he just got done killing a monster.
Mm-hmm.
And the townsman is basically like, oh my goodness, he's dead. He didn't make it. And
he's recounting the story.
Yeah, he's recounting the story as Dandelion's sitting there writing it down, just happy as hell. Like, I never get details this good from him. Dandelion's writing down this whole story and everything. Geralt comes in, covered in slime and offal and ichor. And
he'd killed some monster.
A
buffalogan.
A snuffleupagus.
A snuffleupagus.
A lake snuffleupagus.
Yeah.
And basically he walks in, he gets paid. Dandelion's like, hey, I got another side job for you.
Well, Dandelion's like, hey, that's probably part of my money since I'm making you famous, but instead of taking 10% off the top, you could just pay me in a favor.
Yeah, I'm doing so much for you that I'll be nice this time. I'll forgo my standard 10% fee, and you just come hang out with me tonight.
Basically, he needs a bodyguard. He hires him as a bodyguard.
He needs a bodyguard to go to this event with him that he's playing at in Sintra, because
so some lord doesn't murder him.
Yeah, apparently he's
with his wife.
He's had sex with so many of the nobleman's daughters, and he's afraid he's going to get stabbed up.
Good game. He's got game.
Geralt's like, no. But then he's like, there's going to be booze and women. And Geralt's like, yeah, I could go give someone a Geralting. So he goes to this event with him. He's just kind of standing on the sidelines. And immediately...
the party is at Sintra.
The party is a betrothal party for Princess Pavetta. She's old enough that it's time for her to find a suitor and expand the empire.
15.
She's an old maid. This really should have been done years ago.
Yeah, at least 13.
Yeah. Can you even still have kids at 15?
Probably.
I don't think so.
It's 50-50.
Yeah. She's about to go through menopause. But
in olden days.
In olden days. But he goes with Dandelion to this party. Mousak immediately recognizes him because they're old friends.
Mm-hmm.
And starts chatting him up. Like, yeah, all these kids are fine or whatever, but that one over there, that big ugly redheaded kid, he's probably going to be it. Basically, he's going on about how nobody's caught Queen Calanthe's eye, and she's turned down numerous proposals, but she's definitely banging that dude over there. So
I don't think she started banging him yet. He's proposed a handful of times.
Oh, he's proposed because they've been knocking it out anyways, so might as well.
The dude you're talking about is Cheersinch? Cheersinch.
I'll say East.
The East.
East.
I think he's iced.
Yeist.
Yeist.
I hate this language.
Either way, they're the dogs, the sea dogs.
The sea dogs.
Yeah.
I would assume they're much like the Ironborn. Mousak's like, yep, that's probably going to be the future king of Sintra sitting over there. And his kid right here is going to end up marrying Pavetta. So that's going to be the next king. And
it's kind of weird, but whatever.
They're not blood.
Yeah.
It's very modern. It's very modern. You can find There's definitely like there's plenty of hubs that you can go find, this kind of information on today.
Oh yeah. Plenty of tubes.
Plenty of tubes. It's kind of just the typical medieval scene setting. They're basically at the big banquet hall, and all these kids are trying to show their prowess and stuff like that.
There's a lot of tales being thrown around.
Yeah, they're spinning some yarns. The big redheaded kid gets into a fight with another kid about how he killed a bigger masticore than your masticore that you killed. And Geralt's just over there like, y'all are both full of shit.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even need to describe a masticore. And that's exactly what the queen says. Well, we have a renowned monster killer here. Why don't you tell us which one of the young lords is correct? And Dandelion's just like, no, don't do it.
Yeah, not want to upset all the nobles. He kind of just eases.
Yeah, so he's just like, well, maybe they killed a rare species I've not seen before.
A rare subspecies of manticore.
All these essential noblemen's sons come up to make their claim or whatever. One of the 5 sons of Nilfgaard comes up and makes his claim. And he's like, I am of good stock. Well, I have 5 brothers or something like that. And I will bang out many sons with her.
Nilfgaard at this point is a laughing stock to all the other kingdoms.
Yeah.
The queen just straight up...
She shits on him.
Shits on his country and everything.
Like, get on back down south where you belong.
Yeah, she says, we're the gem of the north. You're the shithole of the south. Kind of trumps him, you know? It's like, it's a shithole country.
Completely calls him out, embarrasses him, pisses him off. I think that is the guy that becomes the future king of Nilfgaard.
And he doesn't...
Apparently he nerd rages and starts this whole war, right? They're about to call up the redheaded kid to make his case. And a mystery knight barges in.
Makes his claim.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm getting a little ahead. The queen's called up Geralt to sit beside her at the feast. Basically talk to her because she's bored off her ass.
Oh.
And wants to talk about anything else.
He actually, one of the things they talk about is why there's so few of them left.
Oh, yeah.
And he reveals the fact that there's no more Witchers because they can't be created anymore after their homeland of Carmoran was sacked.
You're right. All the magical texts and everything was destroyed. So there's no basis on which to go off of.
Yeah. So he's effectively a dying breed.
Right. Him and the other ones out there that are like him are the last of their tribe.
Not very many.
He's sitting beside her. He's talking to her about that. And she's like, something happens, I can count on you to kill people in this room, right?
Expecting there to be bloodshed.
Yeah, she's expecting there to be a fight and then expecting, murder to go on. And he's just like, no, I'm out of this one. I'm not here to kill people.
Yeah.
He says, I'm not here to be your bodyguard. And she's like, you're here to be his bodyguard. Points at Dandelion. And he's like, well, that's different. I owe him 10%. So
he's starting to warm up a little bit to the bard.
Yeah, he's starting to warm up to him a little bit. Just a little bit. The nobleman that he fucked his wife or daughter or whatever didn't recognize him. And he walks up to him. He's like, aren't you that guy? He's like, turn around and pull down your pants. I didn't see his face, but I remember his ass.
I remember the dimples on his ass.
Yes.
And the girl comes up. It's like, oh, he's a eunuch.
He got kicked by a mule or something like that. Yeah. And then no one's like, I'm so sorry, son, and gives him money out of his pocket.
The main reason that girl is finally warming me up to the bard is the fact that the bard is turning his story around. He's not being seen as
he's being
the butcher of Blaviken anymore.
Right.
Now he's being held as this hero. Which in the episode they talk about the tale of where he slayed all the elves on the edge of the world, but he recants it.
He tells the truth.
Yeah, he tells the truth.
I didn't kill any elves.
He didn't kill him. Yeah, he got taken and captured, and they let him go.
And then he basically shuts them all up. He's like, I doubt any of y'all would have done that well with a knife at your throat.
Without shitting on yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, he shuts them up.
So the Cursed Knight roams in.
Yes.
And makes his claim.
Yep. He lays his claim by the law of surprise.
I love this. I love this concept. I think all barters should be from the law of surprise.
I claim the law of surprise. What you don't know you have when you get home or surprised with is mine by rights. You're going to go home like, oh, you ordered pizza? That's great.
Oh, I gotta.
Nope, that's pizza. My pizza. Law of surprise. It's such an absurd notion.
Oh, what's that? A government check for $1,400? Oh, surprise!
Surprise!
That's mine.
You got your Biden bucks today. Surprise. The law of surprise is literally whatever greets you at home that you're essentially not aware of belongs to whoever you owed the life debt to, right?
They state that normally it's just like crops.
Right.
Oh, it's a crop screw.
Yeah, it's a bumper crop, or it's a new puppy, or like a goat, or whatever. It's not really ever a person like this. And destiny is a real thing in this world. Like real tangible thing.
Yeah, this is where we first get introduced to the concept of majority of people in this world believe in destiny.
Mm-hmm.
But like, Geralt doesn't. Because, I mean, he's a realist.
Yeah, Geralt's like, shit happens, deal with it.
Even though he's definitely confronted by destiny by the end of this episode.
Yeah.
But the cursed knight, he lays claim saying that he saved the king's life once.
They were in battle. He saved his life. And as payment for this debt,
he took the
law of surprise.
Law of surprise. And that he even found out that it was a baby.
Right.
Was a surprise. He wasn't going to hold true to it because he does see himself as a monster.
Yeah. He sees his curse and he sees himself as a monstrosity. He was not going to lay claim to this because of that. But destiny, rearing its head, pushed them together anyways. Dooney and Pavetta end up falling in love.
The knight, yes.
So destiny run its course anyways. So he comes in, makes his claim, and the queen is pissed. This is a nothing knight from nowhere with no lands.
Of course.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And
she's trying to gain power over.
Yeah. This is her
territories.
Yeah. This is supposed to be essentially the power play of her generation. She just lost it to this kid from back on the farm, essentially, right?
Who they revealed to be, he's pretty much cursed as a porcupine.
He's a hedgehog.
Yeah,
he's a hedgehog. So basically, the queen just straight up laughs him out. No, this isn't going to happen.
It's more than laugh.
Well, at first it's just I get the fuck out of here kind of thing. But then they forcibly remove his helmet and reveal he's a monster. Well, not a monster, but he's cursed this. And the queen immediately just goes off and is like, he's a monster, kill him. And Geralt's like, no, he's not a monster, he's just cursed. He's just a man. Since he's not going to do it, the palace guard, whatever other aspiring nobleman's son that wants to slay a monster for the queen, decide they're going to get up and kill this guy.
A big brawl breaks out.
Yeah, a brawl starts breaking out.
Geralt jumps in.
Yeah. I mean, Dooney's not doing bad, but there's too many of them. When he's about to get his ass handed to him, Geralt jumps in and stops it. And then literally...
Well, the entire banquet...
Oh, yeah. The entire banquet starts erupting. Before the big brawl starts, East is like, you can't do this. This is destiny.
Yeah.
If you fuck with destiny, it's going to push back hard. And the queen doesn't care and orders him to be killed anyways. And that's when East joins this fight.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just laying out guards and noblemen and crap like that.
Yeah,
it erupts into a mass melee.
Yeah, they pretty much lay hand to like all these guards.
Yeah,
let's get wrecked.
Mm-hmm.
The knight's a good fighter too. Like he's Dooney's.
He's solid.
A good knight. Yeah,
he's solid. Kid's got skills. Basically, the queen stops it when she comes down the stairs and kills some random nobleman.
She doesn't kill him. It's a guard.
Is it a guard?
It's one of the guards. She just kicks him to the side.
No. She takes his sword out of his hand because he's like, oh, your majesty. She takes his sword, just like kicks him.
Yep.
But she's going down there to Iced to basically watch his back. Like Mousak said, they're getting it on. That's my future man right there. So she goes down, and when he's about to get stabbed in the back, kills whoever was about to kill him. That essentially stops
at least
melee.
cuts him. We don't know if he's dead.
Well,
but whatever.
Anything's probably a death sentence in this time.
Yeah.
Infections are real. They're destiny.
Just fill it with mud. It's fine.
Yeah, pack some dirt in it. It's okay. So this melee stops, and she seems to have been talked into, destiny's real. And she reaches out to Dooney and pulls him in and whispers, she's basically like, here's your destiny. I think that's exactly what she whispered. Like, you want your destiny? Here's your destiny. She goes to pull a knife out of her belt and stab him with it. And that's when... you
see Ciri's, her mother, Pavetta.
Pavetta goes
her
Saiyan.
True power. Yeah.
She blows back the entire crowd, just unleashing her magic. Pins them against the wall. I assume probably crushing them against the wall.
I mean, that's fine. But this just knocks them away. Her and Dooney start floating up.
Yeah. She starts saying incantations naturally that
she shouldn't know.
She shouldn't know. Yeah, because she's never been taught. And she's literally in a trance saying incantations, and they start ascending basically upwards towards the ceiling of this place. Geralt and Mousak kind of combine their magic.
Yeah, knock
them back down.
Before anything bad happens. And the mother says that her mother, it skipped her.
Yeah.
That the queen got skipped.
She had hoped it skipped her too.
Yeah. Came into this latency power of their bloodline.
After all this, Isla's like, you believe in destiny now?
She's now a believer.
She's now been made a believer. She approves of their marriage.
They kiss, and then Dooney turns into a real boy.
A real boy, yeah. he unpinocchios. He turns into a real boy.
It should have been like Shrek, and when they kiss, she turns into a hedgehog too.
Right. But the queen announces that there's going to be 2 marriages because she decides to marry Ice that she's been banging to.
He actually announces that they're getting married. Yeah. And I guess she just didn't want to fight him this time.
Right.
So, he made his move.
Mm-hmm.
That old sea dog.
Yep. That old scallywag. Everything's breaking up and Geralt's about to leave. And Dooney's like, I got to repay you. I got to do something. I can't owe you a life debt forever. And Geralt's just like, I'll do the same thing you did. Law of surprise. Whatever you possess that you don't know you have. Yeah.
Jokingly.
He's not serious.
Yeah.
He thinks, like he said before, he'll get a dog or an ear of corn or something, right?
Then you immediately find out.
Yeah. that Pavetta's pregnant.
Pavetta's pregnant.
He no more than invokes the law of surprise and Pavetta pukes.
And he's like, oh, fuck. And then leaves.
Everything about Geralt is just, oh, fuck. Like it keeps getting worse and worse for him. Yeah. Law of surprise. Apparently he's going to be intertwined with this child that's not born yet. Mousak follows him out to the hallway and is like, look, you got to believe in destiny after tonight. You've seen too much tonight. And Geralt's like, it's whatever. I'm not dragging this kid into my life. My life is a horror show.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But Mousak's just like, you're going to have to be in its life some way. If not, destiny's going to destroy everything.
And you see it does.
Yeah. You see literally destiny destroys everything. Destiny is the reason the entire kingdom got sacked.
Supposedly.
Geralt's part of the story was great. There's so much.
The boss scene was really entertaining.
It's entertaining. There's a lot of lore to it. You learn a lot about people that we didn't really know much about in the first episode because they introduced us to these people in the first episode and immediately kill them.
And you go over to Yennefer.
Yennefer's story is, it's interesting.
It's pretty short. It's pretty much she is riding with the queen from Temeria, and she reveals that it's been 30 years. She's been babysitting this family for 30 years.
Right.
They're riding along, and she's got a female baby, and an assassin shows up. They get attacked, and then you see the assassin with a bug monster.
Oh my god, a murder bug.
A murder bug, which is really cool. Murder bug.
A murder bug with swords for arms.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
they pretty much start portal hopping, and this assassin is chasing her because they're being tracked.
Dude, if I was that knight, that guardsman, I didn't see these people. I would have stayed hid. And as soon as everything sounded quiet, I would have just walked off into the woods. I would have left my armor and everything. I would have went back to being a peasant.
I'm done. I've seen enough in this lifetime.
Yep, I didn't see nothing.
So Yennefer figures out that they're being tracked. Pretty much the assassin was hired by her husband.
Right.
Because she hasn't given him a male heir.
Yeah.
And which I think, so her husband should be King Foltest.
Right.
At the time, who's also in love with his sister. So he wants her out of the way, the wife out of the way. So that way
he can keep banging out with his sister.
Yeah, get it on with his sister and not worry about all the politics.
Right.
They're just getting tracked over and over, and Yennefer's running out of power or stamina.
Mm-hmm.
She bells on him, and the queen dies. And she comes back and tries to save the baby, decapitates Bug Monster.
Oh, yeah.
And then ports out with the baby, but into an ocean.
Well, when she goes to port out with the baby, this assassin magic throws a knife through her and through the baby because she's got the baby held up on her shoulder, and you can see the blade just fly through both of them. It's pretty brutal, man.
The baby doesn't
brutal
make it.
Kill a
it's
baby.
Pretty sad. And I think this is where you start to see Yennefer doubting her
She's
cause.
starting to realize that she might have made the wrong choice.
She might have made a mistake of giving up having a baby.
Right. Just to be pretty. But then again, even if this baby didn't get killed, what's the best thing that could ever happen to it? It goes back to the Mages Council and ends up being an eel.
Well, at this point, I'm sure it would just grow up as an orphan.
Yeah. Yeah, Yennefer's having this internal monologue out loud with this dead child. Basically talking to how you're the lucky one. You'll never know the horrors of the world. And then she buries it in the sand on the beach. I don't know, man. That's a tough thing. They murdered a baby.
I mean, is Fetus Monster not as bad?
No, because the fetus monster lived.
Oh,
Oh,
I hope
it
all
grew
good
into a
fetus
big
monsters
fetus.
live.
I guess you're right. This thing could have been a fetus monster.
It could have.
It was probably narrowly a fetus monster. Because when this baby dies, homeboy's probably over there like smearing himself with goat's blood and chanting. So this thing was almost a fetus monster. So Sirius walked into the woods.
He meets the dryads.
Yeah. The elf boy tries to follow her, but he gets like pinged through the shoulder with an arrow. She walks into the woods and the dryads ambush her because she's entranced. They're speaking in Dryadese, or whatever their language is.
I don't know if everything's Elven in this world, like magic itself isn't Elven.
You think Elven is the language of magic? I think it is too. So yeah, I think magical creatures innately speak Elven, or some form of Sylvan, or whatever it's called, Elven Common.
Well, the Elvens developed magic, like they're
Right.
original magic holders in this world, right?
These dryads, she thinks she's being saved by these dryads, but they're kind of imprisoning her because they're like, yeah, follow us.
Well,
She runs away, kill her.
Effectively, all the children that roam in there, they're just brainwashed. They take her back to the camp. They're in Brooklyn.
Yes.
Well, the water there is from the trees that grow there, the dryad
Right.
trees.
Well, not only that, they poured this stuff in his arrow wound, and it cauterized it. Yeah, that's some serious stuff. Then they hand it to you and say, hey, drink it.
If they're under 10 years old, it actually turns them into trees. Like
Oh,
they start
really?
turning into a dryad.
Oh.
But
Oh,
if they're
wow.
older, they just turn into like the humanoid dryads you see. The water makes them feel at ease and they start forgetting all their past issues, which you see with Dara. She wakes up and he's like, well, everything's okay.
She has a conversation with Dara.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, she reveals to Dara who she really is.
Yeah.
And Dara trips. He looks at her and he's just like, this is everything your family did to my people.
Mm-hmm. So it shows, again, how much hate that Cintra had for
Yep.
the elves. And you see it in the ballroom, too, when they talk about, she compares killing elves as monsters, like compares them
Yes.
to monsters effectively,
Right.
and that they're not real people.
Right.
And then they're being enslaved in Ceres time. Most have been murdered.
The Dryad Queen in Brockman Forest, I think she almost immediately recognizes Ceres' innate powers.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
It's calling to him.
yeah, it's
No,
calling to
yeah,
her.
that's not normal.
Yeah, no. She hands her the water to drink for the initiation, like she gave to Dara,
It has no effect.
and it has no effect on her. And she's like, you need to drink from the source. Essentially, they go to the World Tree.
Sean Kayan?
Well, they go to Shankayan. She takes out her knife and cuts the bark away. The sap starts flowing out, and she tells Siri to drink. And essentially, Siri blacks out on a vision quest.
Yeah, it just shows her in a desert, pretty much talking to this tree.
Yeah.
The tree actually speaks to her and asks her who she is.
Right.
And that's actually how the episode wraps up.
It's very Jesus-y. It's very Tree of Life.
Also, while she's there, it cuts back to
Nilfgaard.
To actually, no, Cintra. They're in Cintra still.
Yeah.
She has a vision of...
It cuts back to the Nilfgaardians.
They find the queen.
Yeah, they find the queen's body.
Mm-hmm.
This dude...
They have so many mages.
You know what?
They don't
It
even
sucks.
care.
It sucks being a mage. Or
You think there'd be
If you're on-
easier forms of...
if you're on the top of the mage hierarchy, then it's fine. You're sitting pretty.
You actually
it's amazing.
see the same chick that got sit there
Right.
in Yennefer's place.
She radicalized Nilfgaard.
Yeah.
This, I'm assuming, just low-level acolyte. They find the queen's body, and he cuts a square of flesh from her arm, and he eats it.
Yum.
And then he says something like, okay, I'm ready. This other mage walks up to him, stabs him in the guts, ups the blade, spills his guts out all over the ground, instantly killing him, reads his guts, and is like, oh yeah, she's over there in Brockman Forest.
The other mage you see is actually Fringilla.
Yeah,
You
Fringilla.
see, of course, this is 30 years later again.
So Fringilla kicks this dude's guts around
Yeah.
and is like, oh, she's in Brockman Forest.
You think there'd be easier way to track, do tracking magic instead
Because
of murdering a person every
It
time.
seems like magic is an important thing and it's hard to come by. Well, it's not really hard to come by, is it? I guess it's not common. There's like a magic economy. So it doesn't seem like you will want to kill
That's just how many mages Nilfgaard has. They
Just throw them in the
a
trash.
dime a dozen.
This one's gone flush.
Well, the Mage Guild has obviously helped them come to power.
Oh, yeah.
You think scrying wouldn't cost so much to cost a life?
Because think about it. Yennefer was throwing portals around the world. All she did was get a little tired. This dude basically just turned on his GPS for half a second, and apparently it costs your life. I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's good to be the top mage. It's not good to be an underling.
No, you're either going to be gutted or turn into an eel.
It's horrifying. You're going to be gutted, turn into an eel. You're going to get morphed alive, or you get sent to an asshole king and raped. I don't think you want to be a mage. I don't think you want to be a mage at all.
They've also showed that they've captured Mousesack.
Mousesack takes like her shawl or whatever off of her and pockets it. I have no idea why.
Maybe we'll find out later.
Yeah. That's pretty much it for this episode. We learned a lot of interesting stuff, and Geralt's part of it. A lot of backstory for all these characters. And this world is deep. This world is very deep. There's a lot of history and a lot of lore.
We're halfway through the season.
We're halfway through the season. I'm still loving it.
It's great. Can't wait.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us as we break down another great episode of The Witcher. If you like what we do, make sure that you hit the thumbs up button down below and subscribe, and tell us what you think in the comments section below. As always, I'm your host, Danny, joined by my co-host, Derek.
Bye.
See you later, guys. Bye.